Hey, what's up? Quick video on the 95 Impala. This is me diagnosing, trying to figure out some AC problems that I had with it. As you'll see in the video, changed out a couple sensors, and I should have did a couple other things here and there. Lesson learned, but hope you enjoy.
Bella, what are you doing? What are you doing, huh? Enjoying the sun? But today, Impala's outside. Kind of been neglected, to be honest, because I've have another project in the other side of the garage that is taking up garage space. So the Impala's been sitting outside. So for those who don't know, this is my 95 Impala SS. 205 or 6,000 miles on it. Daily driver in the summer. Paint, it's been painted. There's been bumps and bruises on it. Still got road dings and dents and everything on it. But I try to keep her up. She doesn't see salt, snow, any of that, but I do drive it in the rain. So yeah, it's a little dirty. It's been sitting outside and neglected. This garage space got taken up here from my next project coming up, which will be very soon. But stock LT1, VIN code 8th digit P. I've updated, put full exhaust on it, hookers, headers, export pipes, straight back, hooker mufflers, yeah, done water pump, opposite spark, plugs, wires, cold air intake, home plate delete, you know, all the fun normal Impala SS geek stuff. It's getting tired, and some point here sooner than later it will be LS swapped, but I need to LS swap something else first and learn the ins and outs and easiness and convenience from doing it. But yeah, it will be swapped here probably in the next couple of years. But for today, the air conditioning system works. What happens when I'm using it though is my AC pump continually runs, and when it continually runs, it freezes up the condenser and the evap, and basically just freezes up all that come underneath here and just frost it all up. So you have a couple things that this could be. Low on Freon, which it's 134, and I've checked that, it's not, it's full. You can put a dye leakage test, or a dye inside the AC. It cycles through, and then you use a UV light and check and see where your holes are in your system. Mine is stout. It's actually been doing this for a couple years. I've just been neglecting to do it. I thought at first it was a high pressure switch, which is right there on the canister, which is that guy. So I switched that out, and it still has the issue. So I honestly forgot about it for a while. So what I would do is just when I'm driving the car, I would just turn the AC on and let it get real nice and cold in the car, and then kind of cycle it off and on myself just from the switch inside the dash. And that kind of just got routine, because up in the UP there was only a few hot days that really I needed AC. Other times you could just get away with rolling the windows down, which was fine. But I started taking this thing on longer trips, starting again last year, and getting downstate, it was getting pretty warm some of the other longer trips. So for ease, for me not have to think about it, I'm just gonna change out the low pressure side and see what it does. Now, as you probably noticed, I have the plug already unplugged from this sensor, and that was because I needed to check it out, make sure it was the right one. Amazon had quite a few of them, but it's the AC Delco It's the GM part number is 135-87668, which if you guys ever need to get it, there it is. And the low pressure one has on the pin connector, I don't know if you can see that really well, it's got the 3-pin clip. So you can see right down there, it's right underneath the overflow tank for the radiator. And you got your low pressure line. This is your high pressure line, and it goes to your condenser. Just to the side of it's a charging port. So it's pretty simple. All you gotta do is pop off the 3-wire pin right here, connector, let it hang, get a 14mm wrench, put it on there, and don't be afraid to twist them off and what's going to come out. I mean, it's not going to like blow off on you or anything. There's a little stopper in there that keeps it from spraying all the Freon out. But as you can see, when I cracked in there, it does have pressure in it because it's a pressure switch. So, and the green coming out of there, that is that dye that I was telling you about. But just twist it off and it comes right off. And then it kind of looks like a giant valve stem on there when it's popped off. New one out here. So this does not require any thread tape or anything like that. You just screw it back on. Of course, make sure you got to get a gasket underneath here. You want to make sure that's cleaned off. But other than that, you just, as long as your O-ring is in decent shape, you just screw it back on, similar to the way you took off the other one. Don't over tighten it, just give it a good snug, and you'll know when it's tight. And then plug the sensor back in. And then, simple as that. So there is the old sensor. I'm assuming that the inside's all corroded up and nasty. Something's plugged, the resistor or something inside. It's old. AC switch just on and off. I would just click it to max and off, or AC and off. I would just go back and forth, and that would be my issue. So it's kind of a warmer day. Let's fire it up and see what it does. So flip it to max. I heard the pump kick on. See the pump is spinning. That's getting cold. I know it's blowing Freon through it, the system. Sorry for the barking dog and all the noise, but let this run for a second and I'll get back to you with some updates and see what it's doing. So I'm not an AC guy by any means, but if this doesn't work, maybe it's something further that I'll have to dig into, whether it's the AC pump itself, computer sending off a constant signal while that thing's on. You know, it's been sitting all winter. Maybe pressure is different on the. I'll have to go get it tested again. Could be a whole bunch of different things, but for the sake of trying out some stuff, throwing some new parts at it, we'll check it out and see. But I'll be back for you and let you know how it's doing. Okay, well that didn't solve the problem, because you can see the canister starting to freeze up. And when I was checking, the pump was continuously running. Now this thing shouldn't run for more than 30-45 seconds at a time and just cycle click on and off. So I got something else going on that I'll have to figure out.
All right, unfortunately, I should have added some more time into this video, but I didn't. I did end up testing out the sensors towards the end. I ohmed them, and they actually came back with proper resistance and nothing. I don't remember off the top of my head in the Impala book what the actual specs were for those sensors, but anyway, sensors were fine, and what it turns out to be is the actual AC clutch itself is bad. So it's going to be a matter of pulling the header off on the passenger side, taking that motor mount off, loosening up the other side, which header off on that side too. Jacking the motor up on the passenger side just enough to get in there and actually remove the AC pump itself. Do an R&R on it, and then put it back together, charge it back up, and go from there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do that. With the LS swap plan for that car, the compressor is actually going to be relocated into a different place, I believe. So I'm not going to go through the hassle of doing it on this. It's working right now. I've been cycling it on and off with that switch for the last 2 or 3 years. So I'll just continue to do that until the motor swap happens. But hope you enjoyed the video. Little Impala update. I got another one coming up on the oil change of it. So
yeah, look at this. You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.